things look pretty good.
Yeah, things look pretty good. There's a little bit of I know some people have issues with a certain character and how they've been developed.
Continuing Rathian, because I know there's been a lot of Rathian discussion anyway.
Yeah, a little bit of that, like this doesn't quite feel right, but I think it's something that's fixable in terms of framing with dialogue changes. So it's like I'm not particularly sure if I want to go through spoilers very specifically, because I think everyone here would be happier to play it live and just get rough opinions. I think that would be my executive decision here. Although I would also say if you can at least scroll down to the fish segment. We can show that one off because that's interesting.
Oh, gee! What could this be, everybody?
Yeah. Curious fish.
Is it the night fish?
It's called
it's
called the deep water Megrim. Or deep drifter Megrim, yeah.
Megrim fish okay, I didn't know that was a type of fish.
Yeah. So it says, like Notharian, this fish went mad listening to whispers of the old cods.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Okay, thanks, Liz.
Yeah, I think that's fun.
So they were called Megrim in-game in patch 8.2 as well, located in the Abyssal Pools.
Yep.
I've seen some screenshots from the raid.
It's
these
gorgeous,
like voidy bits where it's almost like a giant void portal just like stuck underneath there. It looks so cool. Right, so...
Yeah. Not really much to talk about there.
Does N'Zoth have... Because I'm thinking about... I don't know why I'm thinking about the Grey Fox in Oblivion and his network of... like, you know, all the beggars were like spies to the Grey Fox or whatever. Is that just N'Zoth's thing? He can just, like, see what the fish see?
Makes sense, yeah.
But what I'm trying to think of, like, to actually do that a bit more seriously... like N'Zoth... You know, fish appeared. N'Zoth directly had a chat with Ashara.
Yeah.
So this curious fish is here. It absolutely implies that N'Zoth kind of knows what's up. Now you may be thinking, did we not kill N'Zoth?
Yes.
And
Asterisk.
why did the end of BFA happen? Why did the end of BFA have to happen? It's one of those things. Yes, we did. Asterisks. What? Maybe. So. EXE has stopped responding. We did in a different way to how we normally killed old gods, because when we normally kill old gods like Yogg-Saron and stuff,
we just punched them to their forward.
Yeah, we just like killed their goop, you know, we just killed their like a little manifestation of them.
The extrusion of them, yes.
The actual, the actual god itself is like, you know, deep, much bigger, much larger problem.
Yeah, I guess.
Whereas with N'Zoth, I mean, how does that even work with N'Zoth? So he was in Ny'alotha. Ny'alotha is in the plane of void.
Is it? Is it not just some? Is it not like kind of like an elemental plane, like overlaid over Azeroth in a weird way? Because we accessed it through a portal, but it wasn't like a physical place.
So we could know that exactly. But yeah, his whole plan is to manifest. Basically, he wants to cross-dissolve his version of reality on top of our version and just go and squish us.
I suppose that actually did get a bit more flavor whenever we went to Ny'alotha in the time travel segment of the 10.0 campaign. And then it was a physical place with the elementals there, and that was explained to be that's the actual Black Empire. So effectively, Ny'alotha could very well have been a dream. Not literally, but a manifestation of dreams kind of being over there.
It was called Visions of N'Zoth.
Yeah, it was the
patch.
But that was about the Stormwind and Orgrimmar visions.
Hang on.
But yeah, because there's also like the thing that like the Wrathion thing, where we go in there and we fight Wrathion because he gets corrupted. But no, actually, like that's a dream. So it's a little bit of like they could say it wasn't real. They could say that, and yeah, like the Hunter stream. And I think if they turn around and said it was actually all a dream, you didn't kill him, I think they would be thrown into the abyss. Yes.
Now, where is the citation for this?
What is it?
Ny'alotha is similar to the Emerald Dream.
Yeah, that's not true at all.
Yeah, that's not true. Because
that's what I hate about Wikipedia. Sometimes there's just
this just could be old, and it was the understanding at the time.
Yeah.
But actually, per Chronicle, that's not. Yeah. Like, Chronicle leaves it open to a few different things. Mm-hmm. Anyway, when I saw that, I basically thought, like, hang on a second, does that mean that it is a constructed part of... Because you can have a thing where, like, N'Zoth can kind of, like, manifest in the plane of void his vision of a place that was real at one time, and then using the black obelisks as he tries to anchor it to the material plane, which is where we live. Which I guess just...
I love fantasy science.
Oh, yeah. Goddamn, fantasy science can be some fun.
Yeah. What is manifestation? What is manifesting? What is anchoring? What's any of this? You just can't understand.
Whenever we went there and laser beamed N'Zoth.
Yeah, he was dead, like, because Ny'alotha crumbled.
Yeah, but where was Ny'alotha?
It was in...
Was it in the anchored manifested plane of...
It was real, and definitely, yeah. So it's that weird thing where it is...
But we also know via Steve that N'Zoth's essence goes back to Void Plane whenever N'Zoth gets yanked.
Yeah, he dies. He dies for real true. For real true in the normal sense. As opposed to dying in the old god sense where they don't die. But then dying in the real true sense is them going back a la demons. So...
Yes.
It's basically the demon situation where there's no point killing Archimonde because he didn't die forever, except for when he did during the Mythic Only phase.
Because, yeah.
Because he was altering Archimonde and not real, and whew, what is good. Good decision. But yeah. Yeah, I think fundamentally for what this means for N'Zoth's return,
Here's the
they
thing.
could do whatever they want.
Where's the body?
It disappeared after we shot him because...
Where's the... No.
Disappeared after we shot him.
No.
It was in the Dream Realm.
No, where's the body? Because how could that be the real body? N'Zoth was in a...
He was free. So clearly he was free.
Yeah, but is he just a big fucking squid? Did he just go float away?
Yeah.
N'Zoth just had a swim.
Yeah, he was freed and then he could do whatever, so he physically moved into Ny'alotha.
Where the bloody hell did he swim?
He manifested himself, teleported, used his void magic.
Where did he swim?
He didn't swim anywhere. It's not real. It's not. It's all made up.
No, but like you see, Cthulhu. You know, there's a bit of Cthulhu that we.
Yeah, but we didn't fight him in Ny'alotha, yeah.
And then the rest of Cthulhu is like.
Yeah.
Still deep somewhere.
Yeah. The point was that was N'Zoth. The carapace of N'Zoth was his outer lair, and then we got through and we fought the inside of N'Zoth.
Yeah, but that was fish.
We were deep inside Nizzy. Well, we blew him up.
Yeah,
basically.
but now he has fish.
Yeah.
Now he's got fish people.
Except he doesn't have fish.
What?
Because it's only mildly related. Maybe the fish are... Well, I mean, right, if we're being literal, this is very much, yeah, these fish are still here. Old God influence is still here, even though N'Zoth is dead.
I mean, I could break out some color theory and say that cave is the color of Saronite, but I won't.
Yeah.
Because I know that that's just a coincidence, probably.
I mean, it's the same thing where the purple... I think I said this last week. The purple crystals in the Secrets of the Reach cinematic were the same, or the same way that the old god crystal elementals that Deathwing used to try to destroy Thrall's earthen body in the Charge of the Aspect story. It's very much those are those. But that could just be a reference. It might not be old god blood elementals. But they could be. But who knows?
What's the game plan?
What do you mean the game plan for
Void
what?
game plan.
Fuck, I have no idea. Oh Jesus, that's a really tiring question to ask.
I'm so yeah.
Yeah.
What? Okay. Status of the old gods.
Dead. No, half dead, half dead.
No, Cthulhu's just a big cooldown timer. Because Cho'Gall wanted to zoop him back up again. But like in the way that Yasharj got totally fuck blasted whenever Amanthil fucking yanked him out of the earth and threw him into the bin.
Another down.
So that didn't happen to Cthulhu.
Very good.
But Cho'Gall failed to get Cthulhu back. But that still means Cthulhu could be back. And then with Yogg-Saron, we didn't properly deal with Yogg-Saron back in Wrath.
Yeah,
and then we get
him.
in the was it the pre-patch quest for Legion? We go back there with Magni and we like things happen that maybe suggest that Yogg isn't fully gone.
No one's ever really gone. No one's ever ill. Or is it truly gone?
It's about family. So Yogg's like on the cards. Yeah. The only one that we know is like turbo gone is Yasharj, but so many people have been talking about like, oh, could there be a plan to resurrect Yasharj?
No, because all that remains of Yasharj is literally a small pool of blood that I'm sure someone wiped out of Orgrimmar by then.
Nope.
That can't still be there in like the Corcoran huts. Surely someone came around with a map and went, "Oh, gross, give me that."
No, but Peter Thiel tried,
Yeah.
but then he found out it was a video game and he couldn't have that blood as well.
Yeah.
So, there's been one of the theories that's been knocking around, because one of them is like, oh yeah, Void's going to come fucking raining from the sky down
cool.
to us.
That'd be cool.
Another theory could be both. Void could come up from the ground again in the form of all these old gods that could be like, yeah, we're back.
That's the fun
while
part.
all the Void ethereals come and, Anshul, whatever that ends up being. Because, of course, we find out about Anshul, which I
That's
just...
Anshul.
I just assumed that Anshul was a fallen Anshe, and that if there was any Zoval Anshe thing that they were planning to do, because of course they were going to have there be a Tauren storyline, which is why Bane went to the Shadowlands, and they obviously cut that to shit.
Good.
Yeah, which is good. Good. They didn't ruin that as well.
Yep.
But then that made me think like, oh, okay, is the deal that Elun's brother figure is in a void cycle? And, if Elune is, Elune, and, if the other one is represented as like a sun deity, then, is there some sort of light thing? You tie that into the Sunwalkers. And then if it is like a light dude, then, well, Naru can turn into Void Naru. But then you pointed out, oh, yeah, but Losho could be Anshul.
Yeah. I love how...
And Losho's Losho's the one that, like, actually literally is a Cosmic Wanderer.
Yeah,
because
as per the Night Elf story, yeah.
Blizzard accidentally removed the the moon. They removed that moon.
The small moon, yeah.
Yeah, they removed the small moon in a patch, and then significantly later they added it back in, and then made some lore.
Yeah.
And now that lore is a trinket.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Possibly. It is all very complicated, and I am kind of a little bit... It's weird. There's so many parts that I'm trying to figure out what they'll prune. I'm trying to figure out what they'll cut. I'm trying to figure out what they'll get rid of. My camera's fine. It's actually, I'm just sitting. I'm just sitting really leaned back for some strange reason. But yeah, I think there's so many things I could do with it, right? But I think I don't even think I could get into it now, but I do have like a forming theory that's almost all complete nonsense.
Oh, great.
But it's also
those.
very good and very cool and better than what they'll do. But a lot of it is related to the cosmic and the void being connected in some capacity, but being notably different. In that if you've seen Sarkareth's form, and you've seen all the colors in the raid, if you follow the whole color theory of like, yeah, everything's the same color and et cetera, yeah, it's all what is to come. It's all the cosmic stuff. Because if you want to make it void, they just make it void. But they're not making it void. They're making it cosmic. And Shadowflame's called Shadowflame, but I think that might be them just kind of... what's the term I'm looking for? Like kind of red herring-ing it a little bit.
Yeah.
Because Shadowflame doesn't look very shadowy. Realistically. It actually ends up looking a little bit more devoury in a sense. So I think there's a lot of stuff
about
there.
the Devourers is they were supposedly a natural part of the Shadowlands
Yeah, well that's the thing.
and a part of the Maker's design.
Yeah, well that's the thing. But the problem is that they're working their way through the cracks. So what if they're working their way through the cracks elsewhere? And that implies a little bit of entropy. Maybe it's just the natural entropy coming to claim what was unrightfully, unlawfully ordered, in the sense of light versus void clash to create everything that is in the old lore. Maybe it's just what was it before? Was it just blue? Is it coming back to all become blue again? And I guess that's the part where until we see a little bit more clearly, we can only theorize. But it's a little bit. It's like if we keep to more grounded theories and like what characters are going to be used, what's going to come in, we can get a pretty good idea. But if we start to think about the higher concepts, it starts to get a little bit. There are too many pieces.
Yeah, and
there
you
are
don't
too many
really,
pieces to move around.
You don't know how much they will pivot into or away from things based on Shadowlands feedback because they undoubtedly heard that shit.
Yeah, almost certainly.
Yeah,
and that's the thing. And that's why I think we don't have this to worry about. I think they're just setting up pieces for later on, in the same way that they know they can't just go and here's they'll go here's your villain, goodbye villain. It's like here's the threat. Here's the thing bubbling under the surface. Here's the I guess if you put it about what's it called? World of Warcraft, remember? Remember that game? And Warcraft 3. And it was all like, there's repeated incursions by the Legion before they became a full-blown, bam, they're here. I think they'll maybe try to work a little bit of that again, because they've been doing that with the old gods for a long time, where it's like, and another one pokes its head up, there's another incursion, there's another attempted invasion in a little way. So I imagine they'll do that with the Devourers, with the Cosmic, with the blue stuff. They'll go, here's little bits and pieces, here's a little story going on, here's more of an idea what to expect, a little bit more of, hey, here's, oh, that's coloured oddly blue, that came out of nowhere. Oh, this star fell, oh, that kind of stuff. They're like, everything's happening, we're not quite sure what's happening, but something's happening. All while you're dealing with like, the Incarnates are here, but the Incarnates aren't connected to the Void, because then we'd finish that up. They're just doing normal person stuff, or as normal as being a big rock, fire, and ice dragons. You can sort of be normal. They're doing their normal things. You sort them out, and like they build it up in the background. I think that's the best way to do it, because if they went from Sarkareth's tail's blue to the Cosmic Devourers are here and they're coming to destroy everything, and it's all a thinly veiled thing for entry because sci-fi, and you're like,
no, World of Warcraft has now become the 4th entry in the Cloverfield franchise.
Oh, what a way to go out. What a way to go.
That would be the way to go.
I'd love that,
man.